What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are running yet another double flyer strategy, this time with Tropius. Tropius made its first global debut in GoFest this last weekend. If you had an incense down during the rainforest hour, you would have gotten access to Tropius, and I did. I caught a lot of them and was able to pull a very good PvP IV. So we're going to use it today yet again with a double flyer strategy. All right, getting into the first battle here, we have Poliwrath on the lead versus Pelipper. Very tough lead for us. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stay in and try to go for a Scald to get that debuff, which could potentially apply here to the Pelipper, and then I'm going to be swapping out. Now, in hindsight, maybe I swap out right away, but let's see what we can do. They decide to swap into Registeel now, so there's a Pelipper and a Registeel, so we're basically double hard countered right now, but that is okay. Pelipper here can do very well against Registeel and at least get it relatively low so that the Poliwrath can come in. Now, the Pelipper on the other side obviously is a huge threat to me. It can do well against my Poliwrath, it can do well against my Tropius. So what I'm going to have to actually do is save my own Pelipper right here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Zap Cannon, stopping all that damage, which obviously would have one-shot me, and we are going to have to save our Pelipper desperately, which means I'm going to need to sack swap yet again into my Tropius here to catch the next charge move. As you guys can see, the switch clock is coming back up, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into my Tropius now to catch the Zap Cannon. This does neutral damage here against Tropius, so it can tank it, which is beautiful. Now, we do see their own Pelipper come back in, so we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. If it's Hurricane, so be it, and it is. Boom! Tropius goes down, but I've cleared my debuffs, I've drawn out the Pelipper onto the field, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the mirror match because I am ahead on energy. Weather Ball is resisted, but it'll do a decent amount of damage where I can actually get this thing out of here. And if Pelipper's the only counter to Poliwrath, then Poliwrath is obviously looking good. So a very intricate dance there in the mid game, but we're able to pull it off and force a shield as well here in the mirror fight. So we're going to go ahead, let this next one go through. I'm going to trust in Poliwrath to close this game out for me. The Weather Ball is not enough to take me out, and I am able to farm down. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap as quickly as I can into the Poliwrath right here. I think Reggie might be coming back in. Let's see. No, it's going to be the Diggersby. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into Poliwrath, and sure enough, it's a Diggersby in the back. Registeel decides to swap in, and I'm going to go ahead and load up on energy. I could have farmed down right there. I think one more mud shot actually might just have been enough to take it out, but I didn't want to risk it, so we do take out Registeel because I still have a lot of energy here versus the Diggersby. Now, Diggersby has to land an Earthquake. That's the tough thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Scald. We do get a shield, and now I need to be going for Dynamic Punch. It does a bit more damage, and I will be giving up a shield here to stop the potential Earthquake, and it is an Earthquake. That is huge for me. I still have my Pelipper alive. This Dynamic Punch as well will do an incredible amount of super effective damage. And because Diggersby here has Mud Shot, I can safely go into my Pelipper to force the energy now from Diggersby, because if I get to that Weather Ball, it's game over. So they have to throw the Fire Punch right now, which means my Poliwrath is going to be able to survive and get to this Dynamic Punch to close this game out. What a battle right there, but honestly, it was from hard reading the Pelipper lead, the Registeel, knowing that there was probably something else very tanky in the back, and I had to really do a great dance around. So good game to my opponent, but that was a nail biter there. All right, game two. We have Gyarados on the lead right here. I could potentially just swap out straight into Pelipper, but I know this Gyarados is most likely just going to be going for a lunge, so I want to tank one here on the Poliwrath and go for a Scald. Again, we resist those bug type moves because of our fighting typing. So Scald right here. Again, some really nice neutral damage. I like using it here on Poliwrath, and then we do get the attack drop on them as well, so we're going to go ahead and swap into Pelipper now to catch the charge move. Hopefully this is lunge again, which is going to be heavily resisted because of our flying typing this time, and it is. So we do see a Stunfisk come in, so this is actually going to be a pretty tough situation. Stunfisk obviously can do very well against my whole team, but thankfully it is weak to water type moves, so we are doing super effective damage right there. Now they're going to go ahead and throw the charge move here. I'm going to let it go. I need to come back in with Poliwrath, which does have a lot of loaded energy, and handle this, but they went for a Mud Bomb instead. That is an unfortunate error on their side. I think they believed I was going to shield, which I'm definitely not. So we do get a shield right there, which is fine by me. They're probably going to commit to the farm down, but they decide to throw the charge move right before I can get to one more weather ball, which is good call on them. And Mud Bomb now will take us out. So we do have shield advantage, which is perfect for Poliwrath coming back in, as I will need to shield this discharge likely coming through, because obviously it's going to be doing super effective damage. So we're going to go ahead and overload just a bit on energy and go ahead and go for the Scald here to take out the Stunfisk. If they decide to shield, we'll just go double shields as well, but they do let it go. Now we do see the Gyarados come in, so we're going to go ahead and come in with Tropius, and the final Pokemon is actually going to be a Quillfish, which is pretty good for us because we can apply a lot of pressure with Leaf Blade right here, as well as having Air Slash as the fast move for neutral damage. So it does land. Now I'm going to go ahead and shield right here. I'm hoping that I can potentially farm down, but I know I do need to get a shield. So they do shield bait me with Aqua Tail, which means I know the Sludge Wave is going to come. Quillfish can get to Sludge Wave very quickly with its fast move of Poison Sting, but thankfully this Leaf Blade will be getting the final shield, and they will be able to hang on and land the Sludge Wave right here. So unfortunate, Tropius is soaking all the damage today. Boom! But this sets up my Poliwrath perfectly to farm down with Mud Shot, and we have a Scald locked and loaded here to take out the Gyarados in game 2. So a lot of dancing around with this team today, but it's honestly very fun. I think, again, Double Flyer strategy has proven to be one of the most successful backlines in this meta because there is no Bastiodon, Walrein, Galarian, Stunfisk, and Azumarill. So we do have a Diggersby on the lead. They're going to go ahead and swap into Pelipper, and I noticed it's a Water Gun Pelipper. So I'm going to go ahead and load up on energy and then swap into Tropius right here. The one thing I need to be concerned about is obviously a Hurricane landing, and they do have enough energy for it, so I will be shielding. And it was a Hurricane. This is perfect now for Tropius. I can really commit to overloading on energy and go for a Leaf Blade once I'm close to another charge move. Again, you can read the fast moves from your opponent based on the animations that their Pokemon does. So you can see water spitting out from Pelipper. I know that's Water Gun. It takes a bit of time to learn what all the fast moves look like, but you'll begin to understand. We also no shield right there. That was too quick to be another Hurricane, so I knew it was just going to be a Weather Ball. Now we do see a Frostlass come in, so we're going to go ahead and go for Leaf Blades right here. Tropius, obviously going to get farmed down most likely, so they're going to get a lot of energy, but we can really fight back with neutral damage with these Leaf Blades, which is always very nice. And remember, I still have Poliwrath with loaded energy, so I'm going to go ahead and swap out into Pelipper to try to draw back out the Diggersby or force energy here from Frostlass. We do get a bit of lag right there, but that's okay because I am able to get to this Weather Ball in time. This is force shield number 2, which means this is going to be a good game. Basically checkmate right here because my Poliwrath has a Scald locked and loaded, so they're going to have to throw another one. Otherwise, I'm going to get to this Weather Ball in time, and we do get to it. So the Frostlass now is going to go down. There's only a Diggersby left with 0 shields actually remaining. And we will be able to get to a Scald or Dynamic Punch to close this game out, because remember, I loaded up because of the Pelipper swap in, had Water Gun, which means I was free to do that. So we do land a Weather Ball. We're going to go ahead and swap and go for Scald right here. I should have gone for Dynamic Punch. It does more damage. So I went for the Scald. As you guys can see, it's not enough to KO right there, but they do decide to, or actually no, they decide to throw the charge move right here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield. And it is going to be the Fire Punch Shield Bait, but that's okay. I still have Tropius, I still have Pelipper, and they decided to surrender right here. So, good battle, very well played, but just do know, go for Dynamic Punch there instead of Scald. Alright, so we got Poliwrath versus Whiscash, so a very interesting lead matchup. They're going to have to go for Mud Bombs to take me out, which means I'm actually in control of the shield pressure here because of Scald and Dynamic. They do a lot more damage than a Mud Bomb will. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Scald here, again hoping for that attack drop like we got on the Pelipper in a previous match. But we're going to go ahead and throw it, and they decided no shield, so that's fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and swap into Pelipper now to catch the charge move. Knowing that they have to go for Mud Bombs right away, we are able to catch it, which is going to be heavily resisted, and we save all that energy on Poliwrath as well. Now, they do decide to swap out into Mandibuzz, so I'm going to go ahead and build up to that Hurricane and just throw it right here. I think, reading this team, I ran this team earlier, Whiscash, Mandibuzz, I'm going to guess there's a Golbat in the back, so I need to go for the high damage, but they shielded it. That's a huge shield on them. I am now in a very tough situation here with Pelipper because I wasted all of that energy into the shield when I could have just gone for straight Weather Ball. So we're going to have to do as much chip damage as we can now. And we will be likely going down to another charge move here soon from Mandibuzz, and it's going to be a very tight end game. So we're going to go ahead, and I believe I decided to let this go through. Nope, I decided to shield right here. I wanted to get some more damage off with Pelipper because I don't think they can farm me down with Snarl. I did these battles yesterday, but I'm recording today. So Weather Ball does land. That's beautiful. This thing is getting low enough. They're definitely going to have to throw energy right here to take me out. And I think we're actually looking pretty good. I can come in with Tropius and try to farm down with Air Slash right here. Because it will be doing neutral damage. I should be coming in with... Please come in with Tropius. Yeah, I do come in with Tropius right here. With Air Slash, we're going to go ahead and tank the Aerial Ace. It's going to hurt, but Tropius, again, very tanky. It's a flying dinosaur, so the Aerial Ace, even though it is super effective, doesn't do that much. And they decide to swap into Rapidash. So not a Golbat in the back, but even better. Rapidash obviously going to be taking super effective damage from my Scalds, and with the fast move of Incinerate, I can easily get to 2 Scalds right here. So we're going to throw the first one. This is going to be forcing the final shield from our opponent, and it's going to be a race to the second one, and I think I can get to it in time. There's 1 Incinerate, there's 2 Incinerates, so we do get to it. So this is going to take out Rapidash. Mandibuzz is low, and so is Whiscash. Whiscash is relatively low. It has a little bit of energy, but I think that's still going to be a good game to my opponent. So they do decide to come in with the Whiscash right here. They're going to have to throw the Mud Bomb right away to take me out. Otherwise, I would get to that Dynamic Punch or Scald. And then Tropius, I have a Leaf Blade loaded, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw that right away to take out the Whiscash, and then Air Slash down the Mandibuzz, and that will be a good game. Very well played. Double Flyers, honestly, even if you face off against Registeels and Diggersbys and stuff like that, you can take them down. You can take them down. So we got Whiscash again on the lead, so we'll have to see what else they have, but we're going to play it very similarly, but they decide to swap out into Golbat. So they do, in fact, have Golbat on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Scald, and then swap into my Pelipper to take on the Golbat. So Scald does land for a lot of neutral damage. We do get the attack debuff as well, which is huge. And they're going to go ahead and go for the charge move. This is enough for Shadow Ball, but with that attack debuff, I'm going to let it go, and it is Shadow Ball. So a lot of neutral damage right there, but we can load up on some energy and now go for a Weather Ball here to take out Golbat, or force the first shield. If we do get a shield, I'll go ahead and shield the Poison Fang myself and farm down, but they let Golbat go. Now, we will see Mandibuzz come in. So, Whiscash, Golbat, and Mandibuzz, and we're just going to go ahead and go for Weather Balls this time, learning our mistake from the previous battle. Just do as much chip damage as we can, but a Mandibuzz loading up on this much energy is obviously going to be very deadly for my team. And I honestly think my win condition right now, as I'm calculating it, is going to be soaking the energy on Tropius in order to close this game out. Now, I should have also swapped into Tropius right there, saving my Pelipper, so that was a slight mistake on my end. But I think we can still pull this off. So Tropius has to come in and has to soak all of this energy. It's super effective damage, but I'd rather it go on Tropius than it go on Poliwrath, because I'm doing at least neutral damage with Air Slashes right here to get this Mandibuzz as low as possible. So here comes another one. We have to tank it. It's very scary, and we're going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade now to try to force a shield here from Mandibuzz. If they decide to shield, I'm going to go ahead and swap into my Poliwrath. So they do decide to shield. I'm going to go ahead and swap out, and then I will shield this Aerial Ace now, because Tropius can take out a Whiscash with a Leaf Blade if they don't have enough energy, but they do decide to bring in the Whiscash here, so we're going to go ahead and go for Scald. So this is obviously going to be a very close endgame. Whiscash versus Poliwrath, 1 shield to 1 shield, no attack debuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this first Mud Bomb. I think this is going to be the hardest hitting move left in the game, because Mandibuzz is out of energy. But now we're going to go ahead and try to go for another Scald to get that debuff, but we don't get to it in time. So this is unfortunate right here. But I'm actually in a pretty unique situation where my switch clock is coming back up. So if I can time it right, I can catch yet again another charge move. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Scald, do as much neutral damage as possible. We do get the attack debuff, and we swap into Tropius, and we force them to have to throw energy. Otherwise, I get to the Leaf Blade, and I did get to the Leaf Blade in time. So Whiscash is going to go down. Mandibuzz is going to come in and farm me down, but I am very close to the charge move. One more Mud Shot, and we get to the Dynamic Punch in time. So that's going to be a good battle. Very well played. Very tough battles right here. Obviously, you guys are seeing a lot of dancing around with my team, catching charge moves, utilizing Tropius to soak a lot of damage from the opponents. But overall, a really fun set and another 5-0 with, yet again, another double flyer team. This strategy has worked so well for me in the Remix Cup. You guys have seen Golbat and Mandibuzz, Noctowl and Zapdos, and now Tropius and Pelipper. Overall, 23 wins out of 25 battles. I did use Victini the other day as well. But double flyer strategy, it's doing really well. And again, because there's no Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk, Walrein, and Azumarill, these flyers can reign supreme because the typical counters out there can still get hit for a lot of neutral damage. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to give Tropius a try if you guys got it at GoFest. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.